when you guys came into the club, came into my life really, you resonated something that I had not put forefront for a very long time. So I have also been a bit of a victim in this area. Back in 2011, one of my close friends who was staying with me, he took his life. And this happened around my family, this happened around my children. So this is something that I am extremely grateful that you guys have come here, because it's something I'm passionate about, and I will put everything in to make sure that the message is heard loud and clear that we need more awareness.
Thank you. I'll be speaking after our first performance today, but I just want to thank the amazing support we've received from the community. When we launched this foundation, we launched it as a community-driven initiative. So we found, after 11 years working in the industry, we didn't want to sit around and wait for the right funding pool and the right leader and the right decision maker to make the decisions. We knew as a tribe in the community that we together can make the difference. These are our babies that are dying. These are our best friends that are dying. And we want to know how to be there as a tribe and say, we stand together and we together will make a change. And so every single one of you here, no matter how many people walk through these doors today, I know you represent thousands. And so not just the fundraising we achieve, but the awareness we drive today, and standing together saying, we demand funding. We demand initiatives that are actually making a difference. We demand life-saving programs to be in place for our youth, for our children, for the people that need us the most in their most vulnerable times. So I'm really proud of you as a community for showing up here and the ripple effect that you create going forward. Can't keep a dry eye when I see it just moves something so deeply. I'm really grateful to you all being here this weekend. This has been firstly I want to thank the Go Health Club's team. They've put this together as a launch for our partnership, and it's been quite a project to get this happening, and they've been amazing. So big thank you to Crystal, to Ange, to the team here, and to Go Health Clubs for opening their doors and hearts to us, and for everybody getting on board this cause. I just want to share a little bit with you this morning while we're all together about why this cause is so important, what it is that drove us to launching Alive. We've been, the first year of our foundation, it was setting up all the paperwork, and we've really been active and launched since August last year. We've worked for 11 years with children, families, youth in particular, and in that 11 years I've seen something incredibly frightening. And I know we do get a chance to see it a little bit in the media, but it's stopped being published in the media. And so without trying to put the heavy word on everybody, I like to, when I get a chance for us all to share, explain why this is such a massive issue. It is actually one of our greatest health crises that we are experiencing across every age group. Every age group under 44 years of old, suicide is the #1 cause of death. That is every cancer, every road accident, every accidental poisoning, everything you can think of. Suicide by someone's own hand is the #1 reason. Who here has children? Just show me your hands. Who was a nervous parent when they were born and you checked them for breathing and checked them every 5 minutes to see if they choked on the food that you'd given them? That right? And who was nervous when, we have, my husband and I, Dexter, we have 5 children between us. The oldest is 17. And he just got his P's. That was the scariest moment of my life. I'm in childbirth, a breeze compared to driving 100 kilometers an hour with an L-plate driver that you gave birth to yesterday, is what it feels like, down a freeway and you're not in the driver's seat. I was so terrified when he got his P's and I set him out into the big world. But if somebody told me when I was having children that they were 3 times more likely to die from suicide than road accident, where is that being addressed? Where are the campaigns? Where are the TV ads? Who's seen a road accident ad campaign driving along the freeway? Most of us, right? But in that age bracket that we really take care of, that under 25-year-old, you're 3 times more likely to die by your own hand. And it's a terrifying statistic. So when Dexter and I decided to launch Alive, we decided that we needed to stop waiting for everybody to get the message and to start taking action. I've seen the community capable of incredible things when we come together as a tribe. And so we had the skill set, we had the tools and the training, and we had the staff team to be able to put programs in place that in a very short period of time, just a few short weeks, we can intervene when somebody is having or suffering from suicidal ideation and give them support right when it's needed, right at the moment it's needed, and help them choose a healthier path by dealing with every aspect of their life. Their emotional well-being, the thoughts that go through their head, their physical health, every aspect of their life. And do it in a way that a young person will engage with. I found working in a clinical setting for so many years, not many young people, not many teenagers were willing to come and sit and talk to me in a therapeutic office. And so with Alive, we've set it up in the gym. We've set it up on our community farm in Loganholme. So we play with animals and we ride horses and we plant vegetables and we teach them Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and use Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and self-defense as a form of intervention, as a form of getting your head straight. It's fun stuff that kids want to engage with. And then we support at every level. We support the parents to know how to actually help someone get into a better frame of mind. Not everybody suffering suicidal ideation or at risk of suicide has severe mental health issues. They don't even show any red flags. They don't walk around with a banner on their forehead. In a group of young children this size, I've just turned, in my age, sort of countable numbers. I've run out of toes and I've run out of fingers and I've started borrowing his, and so I'm out of numbers now. When I was growing up in a classroom of 30, say the average classroom, 1 person would be at significant risk. Today, it's more like 3 to 5. And that is significant risk. That's not even struggling. So where we go is first point of call into the classrooms. This event that you've attended, you've shown up, you've created a ripple for, what this has enabled us to do is support 400 students in significant risk already. That's not even if you buy a cupcake out the door or buy a raffle ticket out the door. That's already. And that support involves going into the schools, engaging with mini workshops that are all activity-based. The students love it. It's not a boring PowerPoint presentation where they fall half asleep and sit and watch their phones. And we teach them mental well-being tools, practical skills about how to deal with the emotional ups and downs, how to understand their values and what will make them happy because it's different for everybody, and how to set their life up around that, how to support others that show a significant sign of risk. So those programs are life-saving, they're crucial. 3 to 5 students in every classroom, significant risk. Hearing that talk and hearing that workshop and understanding the tools, embodying them, and being able to use them when they struggle. That's life-saving. The second form of intervention, we leave intervention kits that cost us about $50 to put together with the collaboration of all these businesses here. All our business partners are who fund our intervention kits. Do you know how much government funding we currently get? You got it, none. We receive no community funding at all. We are completely funded by the general public. So every time we get $50, we send a suicide intervention kit to a school with a really high statistic. And the guidance officers take those intervention kits. Go Health have generously donated memberships so that young people who receive an intervention kit can come here for a gold coin donation, participate in the classes, get that endorphin release. They actually get the chemical releases that will improve their state of mind. They can attend the yoga box and the meditation. People there are guided how to support them through a rough patch and into the light. So these kind of supports, we have banks supporting us, we have small businesses supporting us, even the Cupcake Man supporting us. And by doing that, it allows us to raise funds to put these intervention kits in place. In the intervention kits, they have kits they can take home. Not everybody that is at risk is ready to go and talk to somebody in a clinic. They're not going to go and necessarily engage with a psychologist somewhere. So we need to find a way to reach them in their own homes. So the intervention kit sends them a book and an app and basically an online workshop that they can work with that will help them in a guided fashion work through their crisis and come out the other side. And it's very quick to break that down. It then supports them at a physical level. It then connects them to things like goal setting and values alignments and resume support and an iPod that they can listen to relaxation music and do Smiling Minds app. It's a fantastic kit. And these kits go into schools, doctors' surgeries. Who's ever seen a doctor recently? Let's see, show of hands. Who's been to a doctor's surgery? All right. So if you had to go to that particular doctor, some of you have great doctors, but if you had to go to that particular doctor with your 16-year-old who you thought was at risk, how well do you think that conversation would go in that 30 seconds that you have between appointment to appointment? And it's not because we haven't got great doctors, we've got amazing physicians. It's because their job is to take care of your physical body and guide you to other avenues of support. So a high percentage of that suicide statistic that's so frightening are people that have already reached out for help. You know, every ad you see, that, like every sort of scary newspaper article about somebody that is sadly left, taken their own life, it says at the bottom to call Lifeline or to go to your GP. So of course you take them to your GP, but then there's this bridge between connecting them to mainstream support that we then fill that gap by having suicide intervention kits in the doctor's surgeries that they go home with that day. They start working on their stuff that day, and it's done in so many different forms. So all of these programs are programs that don't exist. We spent a year studying what's available, what's funded, what's working, what's not working, what's getting good results, what's getting okay results. And we've developed programs that fit the gaps of all of those. Our success rate is up around 95%, which is kind of unheard of. So we are in the process of going after getting our programs funded. In the meantime, it's community engagement that we rely on. And it doesn't matter if you can't buy a cupcake or you think cupcakes are bad for your health or you can't buy a raffle ticket or you can't actually help financially. There's a lot of ways that the community can engage, and most of the people here are doing that. You can get involved with Alive and Active, which the guys are going to tell you a little bit about soon. And in that program, you will actually be raising funds like you would for the 40-hour famine. That's what we used to do when I was a teenager, showing all my fingers and toes now. How many, I can't even remember if it's still going now, but you'll actually fundraise and participate in an exercise challenge, and you can fundraise that way. There's so many of us that have been touched by this issue, and It doesn't matter whether you come volunteer to work on the community farm and grow veggies with the kids, or come build a deck with us and do a skills training workshop with some of the kids that are at risk, or whatever it is that you have to offer, just email us and let us know. This is run and driven by you. We just opened the doors on it. And it's something that our goal is in the next 3 years to end youth suicide. It's not to talk about it just. It's not to come up with some solutions and see if they work. Last year the statistic was 1465, I believe it was, in the last recent statistics we have, which is 2014. My memory with figures is really terrible, but over nearly 1,500 young Australians under the age of 44 took their lives. And our goal is that within a 3-year period, that number is at 0. That not only is that number at 0, but those that were previously at risk are living lives where they're really thriving. They're really doing things that they're happy with, and they're addicted to the happy, rather than just struggling round the end, round the bottom of the pool. And that they're engaged with this community in making a difference. So currently, we're running programs in Tasmania, Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Logan. Next month, we go through the regional areas of Toowoomba, Warwick, Stanthorpe, Goondiwindi, and we speak to the regional schools. We're actually going into over 30 schools in that region with Queensland Rugby League, which is one of our charity partners, and they're taking us into all the schools and the clubs. So we will be speaking to thousands of young people. All of the funding that is raised from Alive and Active will go towards that project, making sure that we can leave 100 Alive kits in every school that we leave when we've been there, and that we can bring back to them our parenting programs, our leadership programs for the teenagers, and our support programs for teachers and mental health professionals. Because what we do has such an impact. It's so different to anything else available, and the guys are going to give you a little taste of that today. I'd like to welcome up here, where is he? Dexter? Mr. Chu? Dexter. I'd like to invite up here my husband Dexter. He's my business partner and he's wearing his infamous green Crocs. Make sure we catch them on camera because I'm so excited he's wearing them. And I'd like to ask Dex to introduce to you the Alive and Active fundraiser. Today is the beginning of Alive and Active. We launched Alive and Active with a goal to make fundraise $20,000 for the tour that's happening in May. Already, as of this morning, before the doors opened, we are 13% into that goal, have raised over $2,500 of the $20,000. So huge congratulations to everybody.